Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day as always. My name is Michael and thank you for joining me. Today, what I want to do is answer a viewer email that I received the other day from someone in Indiana who's considering buying a home and they're just not sure whether or not this is kind of the best financial decision for them right now. So what I want to do is go over the details that he sent me, give you kind of my thoughts, opinions, perhaps what he should look out for if he really wants to pursue this, but also open this up to you guys because the more and more that we can kind of give him more information or different perspectives or different insights, the better armed he's going to be to make the best financial decision that he can. So that's what I want to do today. Now, before I get started, I do want to say, just guys, like always, if you're going through anything major when it comes to a financial decision in your life and you feel like maybe you just need another person's perspective, always feel free to email me. I'll never tell you what to do, but I will always at least give you my thoughts and opinions. So if you're going through that and if you want me to make a video about it, please feel free to let me know. But my email address is commonsensemike@gmail.com. Now back to the email at hand. This goes out to Kevin in Indiana. He is a school teacher that is going to be working up until August of this year. And after that, he's going to quit teaching for a while to pursue his master's at Notre Dame University. So a lot of awesome things coming his way. This house thing could be a great blessing for him. Again, it's really just a matter of whether or not it's the best decision that he can make. And so let's go over some of the stats that he gave me. After taxes, currently he nets about $1,800 a month. He just paid off his car loan. He has, I think, little to no credit card debt at all. The only other debt that he currently has are student loans, which should go into deferment once he starts university again. He also has about $2,000 set aside in his savings account. He has a 744 credit score, and luckily right now he has a very low cost of living, which may not last too much longer, but as of right now I believe he said his rent is about $175 a month. So he has clearly got a good thing going on, and what he may ultimately want to do is utilize the remaining time he has to pretty much save as much money as he can to see if this home purchase is feasible, especially now that his car loan is paid off. So those are pretty much the current details that he gave me. The thing that I should mention going forward, again, he's going to be going back to school in August. It is a full-time master's program, so he's not going to be able to work in the same capacity that he is now, which is going to reduce the level of income that he'll receive. He will receive a stipend. I'm sorry, Kevin, you didn't tell me how much that was, and so I'm not sure what dollar amount you're expected to receive. I know you said it's clearly not going to be enough to live off of, but you will also be able to work as well. It's just not going to be in a full-time capacity. So I'm not sure what level of income you're projected to get on a monthly basis once you start school. And I know you had mentioned that in order to combat a more than likely lower income than what you have now, you're going to be renting out one of the bedrooms for $600 to $700 a month, which is a fantastic option if you have the ability to do that. But what I want to talk about first is this house that you're considering purchasing. You know, you mentioned it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, $74,000 home that you'd be purchasing from your friend. The first thing that I would address more than anything is, are you wanting to buy your friend's house or are you wanting to buy a house? Because those can be two entirely different things, right? Without knowing your friend's house, like the pictures, the quality of the home, does it need any rehab? Like, I looked in South Bend, Indiana, and I'm not sure exactly what part of town this house is, but you can get a house for like $40,000 over there, and yeah, it needs some work, but either way, if the main goal is to determine whether or not you should buy a house, right, I would just start looking at buying a house, period, and forget about it just being your friend's house, unless this is just a really fantastic deal. Now let's go ahead and start talking about some of the finances with this deal. You know, the major thing that stands out to me are a few things. One, the $2,000 that you have in your savings account, to me, seems a little bit low to consider purchasing a home. I know that if you're going to be able to do like an FHA loan where you need about 3 to 3.5% down, that's really only about $2,600. So that doesn't seem like a whole lot, and it isn't, but keep in mind you're going to have money for down payment plus potentially 6 months of monthly payment reserves in your savings account for the lender to qualify you. Now, I'm not saying you absolutely are going to be forced to do that, but just whenever you speak to a mortgage lender, understand that they're probably going to need a little bit more reserves. I believe you had mentioned there may be some first-time home buyer scenarios or programs for you to take advantage of. Definitely speak to your lender about that. But that's the first thing that really stands out to me is the down payment amount and the reserves amount. Now, I know in your email you had mentioned that now that your car is paid off, you should have more money each month to set aside into savings to kind of help grow your down payment amount and or your reserve amount. I would definitely focus on that as much as you possibly can, because I think this is going to be the linchpin in the whole situation. I can tell you firsthand, when I bought my condo that I now use as an investment property, that I had over 20% down. It wasn't a large mortgage amount. I had close to an 800 credit score at the time, and I still had a very uphill battle in getting approved for that loan because I was part-time, right? Even though I was still part-time with the company that I had been with for, I don't know what it was, 6 years at the time, it was still an uphill battle in getting that approved. So just be prepared to do as much as you can, because I think you are going to have an uphill battle as well. And I would encourage you to speak to a lender as soon as you possibly can, just to go over what you're expecting and make sure that you've got enough time before school starts that you can do everything that you can in order to get approved when you're ready to purchase the home. Now, looking into some specific numbers, and keep in mind I'm kind of having to guesstimate a lot of this stuff. If I assume that the loan amount or a mortgage amount is going to be about $70,000, right? It may be a little bit more, a little bit less, but at $70,000, a 15-year loan at 4% is going to give you a monthly payment of principal and interest $518. If you go a 30-year note at 5%, that's going to be $376. So right off the bat, when you consider principal and interest being that range, you've got a pretty low monthly payment. You're also going to have your insurance and your property taxes as well. But that seems pretty low, especially considering you mentioned that you could probably rent out that second bedroom for $600 to $700 a month. If you are pretty confident that you'll be able to have a tenant in there at all times, I would say that makes this possibility very enticing, because $600 to $700 is going to cover pretty much everything, right? And if that's the case, right, if you're really coming close to breaking even each month when it comes to like your tenant being able to pay pretty much your entire mortgage payment each month, I would definitely advise looking into the 15-year term. It's going to give you a lower rate. You're going to build equity in the home faster. You're going to pay less interest overall. And again, if the difference is, by my rough math, $140 a month, right, that's pretty much just means that you're going to be able to own the home while paying roughly the same amount that you're paying right now as far as monthly rent's concerned. Obviously, you're going to have utilities and everything on top of that as well. But either way, if you're coming close to breaking even on your mortgage payment by just having one tenant in the house, that is a fantastic opportunity that I personally would definitely look to take advantage of. And if it's my decision, right, if I'm in your shoes, I would absolutely entertain this idea. Again, to me, it really is going to come down to getting approved for the loan. Despite the fact that you've got high credit, I think you've got good job history, you're pursuing something that's going to benefit you in the long run, the bank still is going to look at this from a financial risk standpoint, right? Do you have the down payment money? Do you have monthly reserves? You're not going to be working as much, so are you going to be able to afford it? You're quitting your quote-unquote job to pursue something different, right? There's part of me that thinks that you're going to have to do this before you quit, right? Because if you say that I don't have a job and I need potentially 2 years job history to get approved for a loan, how are you going to do that once your teaching contract is up? There's the other fact that your debt to income with the student loans may not 100% be in your favor right now. Luckily, you just paid that car loan off. But if you take into consideration the student loans plus this new potential mortgage, you're going to have to make sure that your debt to income ratio works out in your favor as well. So those are all the potential speed bumps that I see potentially coming your way. I don't want that to deter you from looking into this, because again, I'm intrigued enough to where I would say definitely explore that. I think the number one thing that you can do right now is just go speak to a mortgage lender. Speak to a local credit union loan officer. If you know of anyone in the industry, definitely work with them. But they're going to be the ones that can really give you an insight to how feasible is this. Right? If you're looking for like a seal of approval, I would definitely give you mine and say, hey, pursue this, look into it, and if it makes sense to you, pull the trigger on it. But ultimately, it's going to be, that's great and all, but you still got to get approved. So I would say the first thing that you should do is go work with a mortgage loan officer. Look at down payment amounts, look at home buying programs, look at the monthly payments between a 15-year and a 30-year, see if there's any way that they can look into you having a tenant in there to offset some of the mortgage expenses. Like, all of these things are things that you need to bring to them, since they're going to be the ones that determine whether or not this is even possible. So Kevin, I hope that helps. I know that wasn't necessarily super streamlined, but either way, I hope it gave you some different insights and some potential information that you didn't know beforehand. Likewise, guys, for those that are watching that may be in a similar situation or have gone through a similar situation of timing your first time home purchase and a big life event as well, maybe a career change, is it worthwhile for you? Is it something that you would advocate for or say is in his interest? We'd always love to know what you guys think, because more heads are better than just my opinion. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. If you feel like supporting the channel, there's two ways of doing that. There's an Amazon link down below where anything you purchase, it gives a small commission to the channel. Likewise, I have a Patreon link down below. No obligation, but all the support is appreciated. But thanks again, guys. Take care. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.